I'm Dougie. I'm the Research and Evaluation Manager at Youth Music. And this is Sally.
Sally Barbrea. I'm the Head of Marketing and Communications at Sing Up.
So we've been asked by Vasti to come along and present today just on some of the ways in which ICT has been used by our respective kind of organisations. And yeah, so we've got a short presentation that we'll sort of dip in and out of, and a few things to show you, links through to the different sites and things that we've set up and different examples that we're going to show. But I think it's fairly informal, and so we've got plenty of time. So if you want to ask any questions as we go through, then by all means just ask. Or if I'm talking too fast or you can't understand my accent or Sally's accent, then by all means just stick your hand up and let us know.
Are you part of the same organisation? Are you just doing something special? Or are you in partnership?
Yeah, no, we sit about sort of 10 metres away from each other in the office, but we are Sing Up's kind of independent charity.
Well, Sing Up's run by a consortium of partners, and Youth Music is one of those partners. So the partners are the Sage Gateshead, Favourite Music, and Youth Music. And so we have different teams sitting in all the offices working on different parts of Sing Up, but we all work together as well. So we're quite connected because a lot of the work overlaps.
And I hear Sally on the phone every day, so I know exactly what's going on in the marketing and communications department in Sing Up. So just a bit of context about Youth Music. It's the UK's largest children's music charity. It's been around since 1999, and since then we've invested over £100 million into the non-formal music sector. When we talk about the non-formal music sector, it's just a distinction from the formal side, which is schools and FE colleges and that sort of thing, and then the informal music making that happens in kids' bedrooms when they're playing the guitar or in garages. It's that kind of space in between for those children and young people that are interested in making music, but not necessarily at school or in the curriculum or on their own in their bedrooms. And since then we've had over 2 million participants in different projects. I think it's over about 2,500 projects that have been funded. And we're really trying to focus on children and young people that are not accessing mainstream provision for whatever reason. So most of our participants in projects have got some sort of experienced some sort of socio-economic or cultural deprivation. We do a lot of work with special educational needs and disabilities and things as well. So that's just a bit of an overview about what Youth Music actually is for those of you who aren't aware. And for us at Youth Music, I suppose ICT covers two distinct strands of our work, if you like. So there's the ICT for projects or for Youth Music's broader stakeholders, which could be community music organisations or schools or basically anyone that's interested in making music with young people. And then I suppose there's ICT by projects themselves, and certainly since I've been there, it's about 3 years, I've seen an increasing amount of projects really being quite innovative with the way that they do use ICT, whether that's music technology in an applied sense, or whether that's actually using technology to really further the learning of the young people that they're working with. So I'll talk through one example of that in just a second. But the ICT for projects, I guess that's what Youth Music can do for those people who are interested in young people's music education. It really is about kind of joining up different initiatives, joining up different approaches, and also encouraging people to share what they're doing, because obviously one of the main things that you can do with technology is contact people quite easily and share different approaches and different technologies quite easily. And it is really about widening the net from just those that we fund and those that we kind of have some level of influence over in that funding relationship, I suppose, that we can ask people to share things with us as a condition of us giving them some money. But it's actually about going beyond that relationship and sort of saying, well, what else is happening out there, and how can we ensure that the people that can benefit from these different aspects are actually doing so. And like I say, yeah, so the ICT in projects is about kind of encouraging people to be innovative, to demonstrate when things have worked well and to be able to then share that with other people, but also to say these new technologies have given us an opportunity to do something with music education that wasn't possible in the past. Can you give us some financial support to expand on that or to embed that in some way? So this is the first, the only case study that I'm going to talk about, and this is just a recent project that we funded, and it's called Songwriter 2012. And the reason that we kind of I've selected it for a case study is just because they are very clearly using technology, not necessarily like I say music technology, but using technology to really expand the learning for children and young people. So it's a songwriting competition for under 19-year-olds in Hertfordshire. And what they do is they run these sort of rock school sessions and then songwriting sessions in different communities across the county. And on the back of that, they encourage those that want to upload the sort of fruits of their labour, their songs, onto NewMu. Has people heard of NewMu? It's a music education website that's aimed particularly at schools, I think. And that's really a kind of platform for people to upload MP3s, to upload the different musical products that they create, and then share that with people in a kind of... It's open access in the sense that it's for young musicians everywhere, but it's a kind of closed and safe online space for people to actually share their music and engage with other people's music. So they put some of their songs up there, but there's also the Hertfordshire Music Service, who run the project, have got their own website where they have a chart. So people put up their songs and then they're voted for by anyone who's in contact with Hertfordshire Music Service. And it's not a huge amount of people. I mean, you're talking maybe a couple of hundred young people engaged in this process. But it just means it's quite a sort of locally... Hertfordshire is quite a big region, so it's our county, sorry, so it's about a way of kind of having a local musical identity for the region, having a sense of what your peers are doing across the region that isn't just based on a particular school or a particular class or a particular kind of workshop group. And it's been really successful, because I think the element that we were particularly happy to support was this sense of online support by peers as well. So if you upload a song, you're encouraged as part of the process to kind of critically evaluate what your peers have put up there as well. So it takes that kind of master-apprentice model that exists in a kind of traditional music learning environment and really opens it up to be much more sort of peer-led and just doing it in a very easy and accessible way. It's obviously monitored as well to make sure that people aren't being too unconstructive in what they're offering. But it is just quite a sort of neat way to open up the different ways in which your music can have an influence on people, but also to just kind of improve your own practice and improve your own skills in a constructive kind of environment. So just to give you an idea of what this looks like, there's a blog.
I think it's opening it up again now.
Oh, that's fine. There's a blog there that all the songs are put up to at the end of each session. See some innovative covers here. Do you come from a land down under? Basically, the project coordinator compiles all the songs and puts them on this blog to be shared with other music educators. So this isn't the NewMu site that the young people access directly. I think one of them...
I think it was Rock Bass. Was it?
Let's have a look. This takes you to the little NewMu player, which is where they upload it directly themselves. I'll let it play. So you get the idea.
Sorry.
Yeah, I can turn that down in a minute. So you get the idea. I mean, it's not traditional songwriting in the sort of well, it is. It's traditional songwriting in the sort of acoustic guitar, sitting down and pouring your heart out. But it's also about encouraging songwriting in a way that's suitable for the tastes and interests and skills and abilities of the children and young people that are taking part. So that's just that little player that you saw there. That was a little embedded from the NewMu site that I mentioned, where people can directly upload their songs, and it's kind of like a little sort of social network as well. So they can have a peer group that they exchange their songs and products with, and all the rest of it. And this is the Hertfordshire Music Service website itself. So you can see there that that's just a basic kind of way of keeping a chart. It's very sort of Google app that just keeps a chart and allows people to vote and keep a record of what's popular week on week and month on month. And I think the chart thing, I mean, again, it's all part of this bigger sort of educational framework. So it's not too much like kind of the X Factor approach to musical progression. It is kind of moderated, and people are encouraged to be kind of to critically engage with it.
Do you want me to do that when you're talking?
Yeah, actually, I'm just trying to get back down to the presentation. Oh, it's up. That's it, I've got it. There we are. So that's the example that I was going to give of Music by project. And that's just, like, say, one example. There's probably about 10 more that I can talk about. But the other thing that I was going to talk about is how we sort of set up this the technology for our stakeholders and for the music education sector more generally. So what we've done is, 2 weeks ago we launched a thing called the Youth Music Network. And it's an expansion of an old website that we had and a program that we had, which was very much focused at music educators who weren't necessarily teachers in schools or peripatetic music teachers, but actually community musicians or freelance musicians, and a way to kind of network them and provide content for them that was specific, and it gave a kind of support. So if you're looking for insurance advice or how to access kind of other specialists in your area, you could go to the Music Leader website and sort of access a community of people that were doing something similar. But the problem with the Music Leader website as it was that it was kind of very much top down. It was very much youth music feeding information, youth music being given information or accessing information, and then feeding that down to a kind of collection of individuals who could then access it themselves. So we really wanted to broaden that out and open that up a lot more. And so what we did was we are now migrating Music Leader over to this new website, which is called the Youth Music Network. And again, it's kind of, stick it on and I'll have a look.
Should I?
Again, it was open out, but I think it seems to be open.
Should I? What if I?
It's fine. Just the Vimeo will come up in a minute.
Should I start close? Let me just close some of these just so that. Okay.
That's it. So we just maximise the video with it. Sorry. Yeah, so I'll just talk while that's playing in the background if it is. Yeah. So the Youth Music Network site has been set up to take the place of Music Leader, like I say, and it's very much about trying to network all those music educators that were getting involved in the Music Leader website, but also again opening it up to project managers, to other organisations that are interested in young people's music making, to teachers, to anyone else that might be interested. And the idea is that within that site you'll get specific areas that are closely matched to the interest that you've got. It's not really directed at young people specifically, but I think anyone over sort of 16 that is interested in actually teaching other people music can access it and contribute to it. So this is just showing you what it looks like and how you can actually sign up to the website. It's a bit slow.
Is it stuck?
Yeah. So we don't need to show any, it's just to kind of give people an idea of what
Oh, there, it's still going.
Yeah.
If the network's really slow, you can always pause it and it'll catch up.
Yeah.
And then play it in a minute.
I think. Do you want to say?
I'll just talk, if you move on to the next slide actually, because I'll just talk
Okay.
through the different elements of it, because that's kind of all that is needed.
Sorry.
As slick as we'd intended. But you know, the content's there, it's all about the content. If you just go on to the next slide. Thanks.
Sorry.
Yeah, so one of the things that you can do when you're linked up to the network is look at a map, which is exciting. And on that map you can look at people, organisations, events, or projects that are near you. So you can zoom into the locality as much, zoom in as much as you want. If you want to look at a particular borough in London, or a particular region, or a particular county, or a particular city, what you can then do is see who else is doing music making in that place. And it's got that kind of social networking capacity, so that you can actually just message people that might be doing similar practice or might be doing quite different practice that you want to kind of get involved in. And also, by being able to search for projects, you've really got a sense of an awareness of what's happening in your locality, so that you know if you're going to be replicating provision, if you've got an idea for doing something, or you know who to go to if there's someone who is doing some interesting music work that you might want to get involved in. So it's really that, we all talk about joining up the sector, and the music education plan that was published this morning by the Department for Education, the first line and the second line is about joining up this patchy provision and all the rest of it. So it's really about trying to use technology as a really simple way, and sort of just by looking at a map and seeing what the landscape on whatever level looks like, and being able to then access that information and understand that is a really, really simple way to have a sense of what the local provision looks like, and whether to try and stop it being patchy and more coherent. Another big thing that we're trying to do with this network then, again I've touched on it already, but it's this sense of like, if you give a man a fish, he'll be able to sort of feed his family for a day. If you give him a fishing rod, he'll be able to go out and catch fish forevermore and feed his family forevermore. And it's not quite as sort of inspiring as that analogy, but what we're sort of saying is that if you've got practice that's working, and you know how to actually do something well, then what we can do through this network is share that with a much wider cohort of individuals. So just the example that was up there.
This one?
Yeah. So this is some work that we've done at Youth Music, where we spoke to, I think, about 100 different music educators, and said, well, we've had this sort of pyramid of progression that's been presented to us by Henley in the Review of Music Education. What do you think about that? Do you think that is a fair way to think about how people can progress musically? And obviously we've had community musicians as well as people from the Royal Academy, as well as teachers, as well as specialist provision teachers, and they were all kind of deconstructing this idea of what contributes to advanced musical progression. And we really said it's not about an individual journey, it's not about a particular trajectory that a young person goes on. What it's about is about a shared understanding of different people contributing to environments that support progression. So that's when we got to this, sort of written up as this visualization tool, where sort of say these are the different elements of how you support a young person's progression. And if you click into any of those little circles around there, so some of it's about enabling young people to support themselves and each other, and then you can go in there and see what does that mean, what does that look like in practice, and then that's also got links into other different other options for getting further details. So what we can do there is say, here's this information that Youth Music's got access to. We've spent a lot of time speaking to different people to actually pull this together, but how can we make that as accessible as possible for people that are coming at it from different backgrounds and different amounts of time to invest in it and all the rest of it?
Do you want to go to the other one?
Yeah, please. Yeah, so this is another one. If you close that and then you open it, although it's probably moved up, isn't it?
Do you want to do it the other way around? If we play
so
it.
basically I'll explain what it is. So again, it's another sort of visualization tool, like the one that we had a second ago, but instead of
Sorry. Wait, I got it. Sorry, everybody.
Basically, it's got a lot of video content that takes you through the different elements of how to work with early years children and nurture their creativity. So it's a series of about 8 or 9 short videos, about 2 minutes each, that describe different aspects of young children's creativity and how it can be supported through music making. But again, rather than just having a document that you can read or a book that you're advised to go and pick up from the library, it's just short snippets, short ways of actually showing you what that looks like. So people are explaining their ideas, but also then just showing you directly what that idea looks like in practice.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's the different stages there. There's a short video for each of those different stages. So if you're talking about what learning in dialogue means, or what musical expression means for 4-year-old kids, you can go there, have a look at someone doing it, and then apply that to your work if it's appropriate. Go back to the PowerPoint. And then also it's sort of the third thing that we're really hoping to do with the Youth Music Network is to have this hub of knowledge and research. I mean, this is my particular area where we spend a lot of time and a lot of money trying to get these studies done, or trying to look at evaluating particular streams of work of what's happening over a course of time, or having a particular impact in some way. But then, how do people access that? How can they engage with that? How can they just have access to that knowledge? Whereas if they know that to come to the Youth Music Network, we've got a specific kind of specialism looking at non-formal music making what effects music's having on different groups of children and young people that might be experiencing different challenges. And there's also then an option to discuss that with other people that are interested in the same things and are looking at the same site, or to share that with your own kind of local communities, and also to generate content. So if I publish something like an evidence review looking at music work with looked after children, and you're working on a music project with looked after children, you can upload your information, you can upload your evaluation or any contributions you want to make. We can factor that in and make it much more kind of two-way conversation rather than us again just pushing content out all the time. This is just another, you don't need to worry about that one actually.
No?
No, basically it's scale evaluation tools, so that what my role at Youth Music is very much focusing on is trying to support people to be able to kind of measure the impact of the work that they do and self-evaluate in a much more sort of coherent and consistent way. So we've been building up these tools and different guides and scales and things that people can use to self-evaluate, and again it's just showing that this is a really good repository for that type of support information that people can access. So, just the last two slides that I'm going to cover then is thinking about opportunities and challenges. And the opportunities that we think the Youth Music Network has, and the Youth Music moving forward in this way has, is that it does link up around 300 projects that we're funding at any one time with Youth Music and with each other, but actually much more beyond that as well. So it doesn't have to just be about what Youth Music funds and just about the relationships that we've got, but actually anyone that has that shared interest or has something to contribute can come in and do so. We're also developing our funding programme at any one time as well, so we've got about 10 million to give out every year in grants to different music projects. And the best way that we can be responsive to what people need is if they tell us or give us evidence or share their ideas, share their practice of what they're achieving and what needs there are on a kind of local level as well. So that's, the 10 million pound incentive is kind of a big one, but it's a good way of trying to get people to actually engage with us and share with us what they are finding out and how they can be supported further to pursue that work. And this idea of creating more networks is quite interesting. So rather than it being about one Youth Music network or one European network in terms of net sounds, it's about actually saying, okay, well, how do we access those communities of interest, those people that are interested in the same sorts of things that I am, in a way that is really easily supported, and then can be linked into all the resources that are relevant to those interests. And just yet, those strength in numbers that actually, if we are in sort of tightening times, looking to expand music provision or ensure that young people are getting the best musical education offer if they can, then it helps if we're all kind of working to the same agendas, or at least discussing the same agendas in a particular way. However, there are some challenges as well. So with anything like this, it's about maintaining interest, it's about generating interest in the first place, but then maintaining that over time and trying to support communities, trying to support people to contribute in the way that's meaningful to them and easy for them. And then there's this ownership issue as well. It's that kind of Youth Music, again, as a funder, has a kind of certain relationship with those that it engages with, but we don't really want to do that with this. We want it to be given over to the community and for it to be driven by those that are using it. But it's a tricky one to get right, so we just need to keep an eye on it. And then it's also making it relevant. Part of the reason that Music Leader was kind of taken off and moved over to this new approach was to make it more technologically relevant to what other people were using. So we just need to keep an eye on that as well and make sure that we're moving with the tide as things develop, as they do very quickly. And then a big challenge for most people in all sorts of contexts and here and beyond is the risk of disinvestment and the chance that the money that we're using to try and get us going might be taken away from us. So how do we actually maintain the good bits of that and make sure that it's the bits that we're achieving are taken forward? Hand over to Stella now, who's going to talk a bit about SIGUP and what they've done technology-wise. Thanks.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Do you want me to do slides?
I might be able, because I've got a few, I'll see how I get along. So I don't know if people are aware of SIGUP, Jim, maybe a little bit? Okay, well, SIGUP is basically a national singing program aiming to ensure that all primary age children have high quality singing opportunities as part of their everyday life. And that happens through a unique blend of resources, training, and support. And at the moment, we've had government funding for 4 years. Then we're having a current year of transition funding, which ends at the end of March 2012. So at the moment, we've got nearly 98% of state primaries registered in using SIGUP, and 93% of all primaries registered in using SIGUP. And I've got some website statistics later on, but we've got about 4 teachers at every school registered. That's the average. And we get around 11,000 visitors on the website. And during, I think we've trained about 50,000 people have been on a training course. So it's a really amazing way of, because of the blend of training and support and resources, it's an amazing way of face-to-face and digital and print coming together to make sure that people feel like they can start using singing in the classroom. So some people might ask, why singing? Well, I don't know if I have to tell you guys why singing, but the great thing is, this actually comes from teachers themselves. In July this year, we did a survey on our website, and we actually asked teachers to take part in the survey and tell us why they do singing in their schools. And these are the kinds of responses we got back. So 93% says that it supports children's development of speech, language, and communication. 92% supports school cohesion. 90% says builds self-esteem. 90% supports curriculum learning. 83% supports children with special educational needs. 83% helps people's concentration. And 81% contributes to school improvement. And actually, in the 5 years that we've now had funding, that's such an amazing thing to get so many teachers recognizing how important the arts and music are to all of the greater things happening in schools, because these are some really fantastic things that singing can do for schools. So the resource, originally, I'm mainly going to talk about the resource today because that's what we're here for. One of the things that we had is when the tender originally came out and when government said, we're going to offer you guys, we're going to put out this tender, £10 million a year for 4 years to develop a national singing program. One of the big parts of that is they were like, we want a national song resource. And you know, at that point, everybody was like, what is this national song resource? We didn't know, are we going to create a book? Actually, there was lots of talk going on at the time that they wanted a book of 300 songs that would just be sent out to every school. And that was it. And we were like, no way! We totally have to do something different here. Like, you know, we've got to make this more engaging for people. And so what we did is we came up with this plan to actually blend print and digital because we knew that like things were moving in a digital way. And the print is because we knew as well that that some teachers might have problems with bandwidth, some people are more rural and may not have super, you know, fast internet connections or amazing computers, and so we wanted to be able to provide that mix. And also, some teachers might just not feel like they're like super digital and want to be looking around things on computers and stuff. So what we do is we have a Termly magazine that goes out to schools, and it's got 10 songs in every issue. It has a cover mount CD with backing tracks, performance tracks, echo tracks, and it's also got all the accompanying activities to help you learn how to build that into the curriculum. We also do practical articles and advice, so like how to start your own singing playground, how to go for a Sing Up award, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Some, you know, things about sort of research that's being done, or pockets of good practice and ways that other people can start using things too. And so it's a really fantastic tool. One thing that's been great about the magazine, and it's been, you know, something that we didn't even realize this was going to happen, but what happens, as soon as the magazine goes out, our web stats just shoot up because people kind of have that reminder once a term where they're like, oh my God, of course. And so what's great is that that magazine delivery has helped people over the years keep on remembering about Sing Up. And so now we've got super consistent web stats. There's a little bit of a peak when the magazine goes out, but it's not as much as it used to be because now people don't need to be reminded, and they still love the magazine, and all of this, like all the research that we do with magazines, like people are just think it's invaluable because they actually think of it more like a book. We've had 13 issues. The 13th issue, I was going to bring one with me. I'm so sorry I didn't. The 13th issue went out to schools a couple weeks ago, and people, from all the feedback we get, they hold on to them. It's not like, you know, BBC Music magazine where people read it through once and throw it away at all. People are really like just keeping them because they are super amazing tools. So digitally, what we've built is the Sing Up website, which I'll show you a bit about around. But the great thing about it is that it's both a planning tool and a delivery tool. And we are super keen that like singing has to be a live thing, you know, has to be something between people. It's really social. But what the website can help you with is it helps you with planning. So some of the highest peaks that we've got is like after school, teachers use it to help them figure out what they might be planning the next day. So it helps with planning, and it also helps with delivery, because a lot of teachers feel like, some teachers were like, oh my God, I don't know if I can sing in front of my classroom. The great thing is we've got the performance tracks for you. So we can help you. We give you all the activities on how to build it into the school day, and then you've got the performance track. So when you start feeling a little bit more confident, you can sing along too. You can lead it yourself, but we want to help you sort of bring that in easily so that you don't feel like it's a massive pressure. So let's see if this works. If it does, amazing. Oh, it doesn't, sorry. What's happening?
And it's loaded up in the browser, isn't it?
Here. Hold on, I've got it. So this is really embarrassing because I'm on the video, but sorry. It's got some of the older images from our website. This is another thing that we've got we've got 2 YouTube channels. One of them has more sort of like videos about the sort of activity that we're doing, and then the other one's got really educational things on it, which I'll show you in a second. But this is just a video that explains really quickly what the Sing Up website's got to offer. Oh wait, hold on, sorry.
Articles, lesson plans, ideas for writing your own songs, what to do in the classroom. Songs and things can be downloaded onto your interactive whiteboards.
Nobody loves me, everybody hates me. Yes, I know anyone.
You can join in at any point.
We're really to use singing as a way of delivering curriculum, so there's all sorts of songs, trying to develop songs on, you know, history topics, geography, maths, patterning.
It's really easy for a teacher who doesn't know anything about music to actually bring it into the school day.
It's knowing where to find the materials now, so finding the Sing Up website and using things like that just gives you more confidence, because you don't feel that you have to sing in front of the class because it's there for you.
Long sticks, curly ones, short, fat, juicy ones, itsy bitsy, birdie, birdie, bird.
I forgot which one it was, but we went on there and we like printed it off, and we learned. My mum went over and over it with me until I got it, like not perfect, but until I got it right.
Long sticks, curly ones, short, fat, juicy ones, itsy bitsy, birdie, birdie, bird.
The benefits of the website is that someone's done the work for you and it's easy access to suitable songs.
We'll expand the number of songs on there. We're going to add forums and discussion groups, and we can be interactive, so we can get feedback from the children, from the teachers and the people using the website, as well as putting things on it.
All you have to do is type.
www.
So that's that. And these are the sorts of things that we've got on we've got sort of an educational YouTube channel that's got more things like tutorials and some training type videos and ways of, building warm-ups into the classroom. There's these ones, like as I was walking down the street, this one is with an amazing music specialist called Sue Nichols, who writes loads of stuff for me for the magazine. And she's just incredible, and what she's done is she's done like little sessions with kids that we've recorded, so that like you can see how someone who's an amazing specialist can use a song, and then hopefully teachers can use that to sort of do some modeling. So this one is Alexander Lestrange, who's fantastic as well, teaching Ken and Barbie beatbox groove, which is amazing.
Quite fast, isn't it? I think we should start slow. So this is putting Ken and Barbie on the barbecue, and things that we can cook. I thought about sounds that imitated the noise of a tambourine. So let's start just by going, this is your tambourine that you're shaking. We're going to go chicka 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 chicka. So you see people do that when they hit the tambourine against their hand, the heel of your hand. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Cool. And we could have just done that, but I thought it would be more fun to have some silly words. So the first bit, I hope, is predictable and easy. Chugga chugga chicken. Chugga chugga chicken. Try that 1, 2, 3. Chugga chugga chicken. Again. Chugga chugga chicken. Chugga chugga chicken. That sort of rolls off the tongue quite nicely, as it were. Actually, you can just do that with the tongue.
So it's loads of fun. I get stuck watching all these things all the time, but I totally love my job. So then this is basically a Sing Up website. There's loads of different stuff on it. So we've got like news and local events that tells, that shares lots of case studies and things that are happening out in the world. Training is where we've got loads of training videos, and when we've got training, the training offer, that's the area where people can go and access some of the training that's happening locally. Success stories are really great case studies of things like singing playgrounds, loads of stuff like that. Sing Up Awards is where people can get an award. It's silver, gold, and platinum. And it's basically sort of an awards framework that helps you build singing into your school so that you can help it improve. It's basically to help school improvement. And magazine has got all the magazine articles, all the practical advice, all of that is all in there. And loads of exciting bonus downloads like a festive pack, which is going to be up next week. And we did a Halloween pack, and they're very popular. Everybody loves them. I do. And then, so the song bank has got stuff in here like, you know, you can search by different things like key stages, year group, subjects, SEN accessibility. The great thing about the song bank is that, and about Sing Up really, is that we've tried to embed all of the SEN and accessible learning things from the very beginning in everything that we do. So we've got Braille scores, BSL videos, Makaton videos. We've also got some of the software to use with it's Voca and Clicker resources. So basically, children that have that use assisted technologies. So it's amazing, really fantastic, all the stuff that we've got available in the song bank. So basically, and people can, I'll just go in here and choose something. But as you see, it's just basically a search. And if you use any of these search things, that will also, so if you want a certain style, or you want to find a maths song, let's see, maths. One of my favorite songs on here is Maths, Oh Yeah, which is the best song. It goes, it goes, 4 times 4, and you get a little more, oh yeah. It's so much fun. It's the best song. So kids love it too. But basically, so there we've just searched by maths, and quite a few things have come up. Chocoholics, another really cute one that's about, it might ask me to log in. Let's see. Oh, so this one is about a grandma.
My mom gave me a big bar of chocolates, 24 pieces, wow. Now I'm a chocoholic, so I shared it with myself. 24 pieces, wow. 24 shared by 1 is 24. Then up comes Louis, I just love chocolate. 24 pieces, wow. That's 2 chocoholics, 24 pieces.
So you guys get the idea, right? So it's 24.
24 shared by 2 is 12.
Amazing. So, so that's the kind of stuff that we've got, and that's. Wait, hold on, let me find back to my presentation. So, as I said before, we've got lots of web users. We get lots of feedback from schools. The highest traffic on the site is during school hours, which is amazing, because what that shows is that now teachers are super confident to be using it during the classroom all day long, and that's amazing. And really, I thought that what was the best thing to do is just to share feedback from teachers, because I could tell you everything about what people think, but it's best to hear from them. And so here's just a few things. I should like to say how brilliant
The website is for the non-specialists. The Echo tracks are an absolute boon to people who don't play an instrument to accompany the children. Everything is there, all the tracks you need, the lyrics you need, the parts you need, and it's all downloadable. I particularly like the favorites bit. Saves trawling through the whole list again. I think we can be far more ambitious with the children singing with this resource in school, and the children clearly love it. Here's another one. I'm a specialist music teacher, and never before have I seen any resources so useful, so inspiring, and so essential as Sing Up. I use it regularly and have shared the website with the children in my school so they can sing along with the songs I've taught them at home. They love it. And this one is totally, I think, fantastic. And what she's saying is, I think Sing Up has the kind of impact which one would depict in a cartoon as a light bulb being switched on. So many people have had a go, knowing it's okay to have a go, and that sometimes that something is better than nothing. The backing tracks and teaching aids on the website has had a massive impact. While many of those reluctant teachers are not teaching music yet, they are making a start by teaching some singing, a part of the music curriculum. Anything is better than nothing, even if it means they're only moving to the beat while singing. And that's the kind of stuff that we actually think is the most important, is hearing from teachers about how useful it's all been for them. And as I said before, we really believe that the live interaction is as important as all the digital stuff that we can provide, all of the resources that we can give to people. It's super important for them to have a social and live experience as well. And that's why what we really believe in is this unique blend of resources and training and support, because we feel like, you know, it's really important to develop someone's confidence. And what we've found in all the training that we've offered is how great it is that someone feels like, you know, the first session they come to, they're kind of like, oh, what's this going to be like? And they learn a few things, and then they go back home and they try a few of the things out. And then the second time they come back, they're like, oh my God, I tried this thing and it's amazing. I want to learn more. And that's like the best thing that we could ever hope could happen. And I think you can really only get that through personal experiences with people. And so we're super keen on progression and quality as well. And so we've got these 10 principles of good quality vocal leadership. And that's all about making sure that people really are progressing. And you know, it's great to be getting everybody to sing along, but we also want to make sure that kids start pitch matching and singing together well, and maybe trying some harmonies. And you know, we really want that to develop too. And then we've got the awards, which I've talked a bit about, but I can add more if you'd like. And really, just to say that, as I said before, we've had a transition year of funding from the DFE, and what we're going to be doing in the new year is launching a membership scheme at the end of our funding cycle. And we just want to really ensure that we continue providing all of these fantastic resources to schools, because we know how popular they are, we know how much people love using them, and that's what our goal is to continue providing them, to continue making them great, and to keep doing that for schools, and to make sure that kids keep on getting singing as part of their everyday lives. And this is you.
I know we've gone on for a long time now, so apologies if we've been talking too much, but this is it to sort of move on and move over to you guys as well, think about what we can all discuss. So yeah, we were kind of thought we'd end on how, you know, Sing Up's got this amazing website that's trying to get people involved. We've got this amazing website that's trying to get people involved. NetSound's got this amazing website that's trying to get people involved. All these amazing websites that keep cropping up to try and get people involved. How do we actually link that together in a way that's meaningful, so that actually the good value that comes from being attached to or experiencing any of that type of provision is maximised and not sort of, so that it meets people's needs rather than, you know, just being far too saturated or one kind of big umbrella that isn't sort of appropriate to different people's needs. So you've got Youth Music Network, NetSound, Sing Up. There's also Teaching Music, Newry that I mentioned, and probably lots of others. So what's the best way forward in sort of negotiating that and navigating that? And then obviously there's loads more opportunities that come from mobile technologies actually in music education, in learning environments, and in the product of musical interactions. So we can record things very easily and we can share them very easily, but how can we coordinate that and make that a much more kind of active system rather than all having to come through a particular organisation or a particular kind of route? How can we actually make that a more normalised kind of part of the music learning environment, and push that forward. And then for me as well, what I sort of struggle with at Youth Music is that quite often the website is silent, and we've got all these...
Not the sing up
no,
side.
obviously not the side. We've got all these projects that are doing music and all these amazing music technologies that keep developing. So how do we actually build that in to make that part of the reflective experience and make that part of people's interactions as well? Because that's something that I feel that we don't do very well. But that's all we've got to say at the moment, and I think we've got 5-10 minutes for questions.